Hello, welcome to the Irish Independence League of Ireland preview show, joined today by Dan McDonnell to look ahead to 5 big games this Friday night and also a little look at a full round of fixtures this Monday. And Dan, it's still early weeks in the season. Pats are going on a little bit of a run, 3 wins in a row. Bows are top of the table. They've had a really impressive start to the season, still unbeaten, and it's still early days, but the table's starting to take a little bit of a shape.
It's funny, will we ever say there's 5 small games this Friday night? Because it just feels like every game, and we had it right up until the end of the season last year, that I think it wasn't hyperbole to say it as the run-in comes in. It's like, is every game a big game? I find myself looking at the table every Friday and Monday going, big match, big match, big match, big match. So I don't know if there's any game that isn't a big match anymore. But that does reflect the nature of the the table is taking a little bit of shape, but it's ridiculously early as well too. And we have little quirks this weekend. I suppose Pats and Dundalk both have home double headers, but then obviously Shamrock Rovers are on the road twice. Waterford are 2 big away games. So there's teams' position in the table in some places could be affected by just the run of games they've had, rather than necessarily reflecting them being in a great place. Although I suppose you would say for Pats, and we've any number of games we could start with, I suppose. But I suppose with Pats, the fact is they have a good run coming into 2 home games. They'll be feeling pretty happy with life.
Yeah, just on Pats, speaking to Stephen Kenny during the week, he's really, a main point he's trying to stress this year is to make Richmond Park a fortress, a place where the players really enjoy playing and the supporters really enjoy coming to create that real hostile atmosphere. And I think they only took 1 point from their first 2 games, so not the start they really would have wanted. And it just shows you how quickly it can turn with 3 wins on the bounce coming into 2 home games. And before you know it, there could be just a little bit of a distance there that could be building. They host Drogheda, which the Richmond Park factor I mentioned there, of course, there'll be no away fans at Drogheda. We asked Stephen Kenny about it during the week, and he was kind of saying it's obviously very unusual. It's a situation he's never been in before as a manager, obviously COVID aside, with no fans being there. But it's a great opportunity for Pats this weekend. Yeah,
I suppose the thing is, Pats' away form was appalling last year, so the home form can't have been that bad. I've heard the comment made that they need to address their home issues this year, but really their issues last year were away and in derbies, and that they actually had some good home results at certain times of the season. They just couldn't back it up. So I don't know if it's necessarily been a massive problem for them. Obviously, there's been a couple of underwhelming displays, and probably the atmosphere there towards the end of the last season wasn't great. But in some cases, that was created by the collapses elsewhere. But yeah, this is a game of significance for them, because if you look at it last year, Pats and Drogheda United on budget should be nowhere near each other, and yet Drogheda were ahead of Pats for most of the season. And Pats sort of limped over the line ahead of them just by, but if there wasn't a red card in the last round of the games in Drogheda, who knows, So Pats, I suppose, if you want to look at this game through the lens of those 2 teams, Pats will feel, and I suppose the people paying the bills and Pats would feel, that there should be an 8, 10, 12 point gap between themselves and Drogheda at some stage in the season. And for Pats, it's a great chance for them to go and nail that down. And I think, just for Drogheda, it's just for them, they had such a good season last year, but an underwhelming end. Such a good season the year before with the cup win, and then obviously the European team didn't get to enjoy it. Just a disappointing one for them to lose in Sligo last weekend. That's just a little bit of a flat one for them. And the fact they come into a weekend where they've Pats away at Shamrock Rovers at home on Monday. Because I think with every team you find yourself looking at the 2 games they have. Pats have looking to take something from this game into the visit of Derry, which I guess you can look at it from a Pats perspective. 2 teams that if they can finish ahead of both Drogheda and Derry comfortably this year, they're going to be back in Europe probably anyway. So yeah, big games in that context.
So Dan, Derry host Shells this Friday night. We're a couple of games in the season now, but it still feels like there's a couple of little question marks still around Tiernan Lynch's side. I know he pulled no punches in terms of his post-match comments after that defeat to Shamrock Rovers. He said we were well off it, and he said it was very unusual for his players to be so off it as they were. A lot of people pre-season predicting them to really challenge Shamrock Rovers, and they weren't at it in the last game.
Yeah, I think the two teams who have the biggest weekend, to go back to the big team, is Derry and Shells. Because, you know, on Monday, Shells host Bows, and on Monday, Derry are away to Pats. And like, there are two teams who, at the start of the season, I think it was Shamrock Rovers, the established favourites, and Derry and Shells, having finished second and third last year, so, you know, naturally enough, were viewed as the most likely challengers, particularly with Derry, the spending they've done, and a lot of chat about Shells and their sort of external recruitment. And if you remember, going into the first day at the Aviva, it was very much Pats, Bows, are they going to be under pressure? Pats and Bows have started reasonably well, and it's these two teams now who are just a little bit of a sticky patch for them. You know, Shells only sort of 1 point from the two home games last weekend in Tolka, and probably from a position of control on Monday, they wouldn't see it out, and then they get it back to 2-2 against Pats, and yeah, just a bit of deflation for them to deal with. But to go back to Derry, where you started, like, they are going to Derry where the local mood is definitely sort of sceptical at the moment. They had those 4 home games, all this talk, probably fueled by the likes of ourselves and people in the media talking about, well, maybe it'll be good for them to go away from home, get away from that pressure, go to Tala, be liberated, counter-attack with freedom. And they were stodgy as hell in that game, and as he said, probably showed a little bit too much respect. And while they have suffered injuries, and Shells have too, you just want to see a little bit more from them. I think we've probably seen more good football from Shells in patches, just maybe not 90-minute performances. They've played very well at times in games. Derry, I don't think they've really shown that to people yet. So it's a pressurised game for them, and particularly when you follow on with another really difficult one for both sides. You kind of feel like if one of these teams can get, I suppose they both could get 4 points this weekend if they draw and go and win, but you feel like, you know, you need that type of return at the very minimum. I think if you're Kieran Lynch and Joey O'Brien from these two games, just to sort of take a breath and settle into the season, because I think if neither of them, if they go winless this weekend, both of them, yeah, it'll just be a little bit sticky. So as ever, there's more pressure probably on the home team, just because that mood there, the expectancy is so high. But Shells just as well, I mean, just like, again,
couple of injuries we were mentioning there, like Oran Casey, Paddy Barrett, Joey O'Brien. He's not using that as an excuse at all. James Roach coming in as well, but it is a big loss for them in the opening weeks of the season. Like, there was so much talk about Oran Casey pre-season coming in, record fee, and it's a big challenge for him just to patch up that defence and make sure, if we're a couple of weeks ahead of the season, from now, that they aren't a few points behind.
Yeah, I mean, look, they conceded sort of 3 goals from crosses against Pats, and you can see on the corner kicks they were sort of camped in on top of Spiel, and they're obviously trying to dominate. And then they brought in the player they've signed from Zeno Wibson Rossi, who they signed from Cambridge, brought him in on Monday, and he started quite well. But again, like, you can see Derry probably looking to target them there. Again, though, that depends how Derry play. Will they play Deepa Wakanyemi in this game? Because if you play with sort of Josh Thomas, you're maybe looking at threatening behind. But then again, I know Shamrock Rovers played McGovern and Green, because, and Stephen Barry said it afterwards, they feel because Shells are missing a couple of bodies at the back, and they're sometimes playing like full backs in the back three, that they can be vulnerable sort of down the sides and in behind. So it's the game I'm doing, and it's definitely the game, I think, with the most storylines on Friday.
Shells have great memories of the Brandywell, of course, Dan. I might move on to Bows against Galway. It's been a real impressive start to season for Bows. Like, we were both at the Aviva the opening weekend of the season. I think both teams cancelled each other out, and there was a couple of question marks. Okay, where is the squad? Where is the team going? And since then, remaining unbeaten, top of the table. Galway visiting, who have had a pretty decent start themselves. There was a lot of concerns about them pre-season. It's been, I think, just average, okay, the last couple of weeks. But it's a big chance for Bows. I know they go to Shells down the road next Monday, but it's a big chance for Bows just to, I suppose, maintain their good start.
Yeah, like I think like Bows last week, they won on Waterford. By all accounts, excellent in the first half. Then Waterford changed their shape in the second half, went to a back three, and Adam L spoke about it after. Like, Bows struggled, and they needed to change themselves eventually. You kind of wonder, will other teams look at that and see what, is that a way to get at them in some way, or was that just sort of a freak on the night? It could be more about Waterford's issues as much as anything. But yeah, like this is a weekend for Bows where if they can get to 3 points on the board on Friday, you're probably in a much better headspace going down the road to Talca. Galway's the interesting one because I agree with you that they've had a good start, and we all feel that they've had a good start, but equally they've only got like 5 points on the board. Like Sligo Rovers, you would say they haven't had a good start and they're a point behind them. So
I suppose it just shows you the concerns there were about them pre-season and how it has been an average enough start, but I suppose the vibe around it, it's probably above expectations.
No, I think the points to go with the performances. And I just wonder, like if you're Galway and your squad is relatively stretched, they play Waterford at home on Monday. And I know at times like rotation is big, and you're seeing every team is rotating in these Friday Mondays. Like Shamrock Rovers is like at the start of every game it's like 6 changes, 8 changes, whatever. Other teams don't have the strength to do that, but I kind of wonder if you're Galway, do you have an eye on Monday in some respect in how you approach Friday? Because you feel that Monday, like they've played Dundalk and Drogheda at home. You would imagine our teams that are going to be down within the bottom half of the table have taken 1 point from 6 at home. They did beat Sligo Rovers. Like if you look at it, Galway and the fixtures have got possibly the 4 other teams in the bottom half at home in this series of games. So you feel like Monday's a big one for them, and I wonder will that affect their approach to Friday in any way.
Exciting one to look forward to in Dalymount. Dan, just moving on to Dundalk against Waterford. Two teams, we mentioned Waterford there, and 2 points from 5 games, not the start they would have wanted at all, have played well at times. I watched them opening game of the season against Shells. They were much better second half. Dundalk still looking for their first win. I know they have performed well, but going up to Richmond Park the other week, baptism of fire, you could say, in the Premier Division. 2 teams in this one just looking to get a win that'll just kind of instill that bit of momentum.
Yeah, this was the Dundalk's first game back at Oriel Park since the Flaregate. So I don't know if Waterford are going to be doing anything. I think they have their own sort of internal issues to worry about. But
Patrick Donovan might not be going as well.
Yeah, I think Patrick Donovan's off, probably with a shamrock somewhere this weekend, so it'll be grand. Yeah, like I don't know. Like for Dundalk, it's a big weekend. Like they have the 2 home games, and that is the thing. Just the quirk of the fixtures, and obviously playing that away game in Derry that was meant to be at home. They have this situation now where, it feels like they've had an okay start with the exception of that Pats game. Yes, they now need to get a win. They still haven't won, and this double header at home gives them a good opportunity to do that. And I'd expect you to see a strong performance from them. Waterford, like I was reporting this week, it looks like Kevin Long might be coming back to the League of Ireland to sign. I wonder, will that lead to them switching to the back 3 system that they used in the second half last week, that they've played 4-4-2 in a few games, and it's just their personnel, maybe their squad is a bit imbalanced and it hasn't worked for them. Now, sometimes in Oriel Park, sometimes teams actually might go for that approach. They might feel, but that would have been maybe on the old pitch as opposed to the newer pitch, and we'll see, does that change? Sometimes there's a feeling you just go a bit more direct, and that's how you approach it. It's obviously a little bit of a different setup now. But yeah, it's a bit of a pressurised game for both teams. Like, I think we'll learn a lot about Dundalk. I think this weekend, there's that sense of, because they've come up, they're a little bit above expectation when they're competitive. But I think they've got some good players. But it's one thing to be surprising against Shamrock Rovers and surprising away to Derry, and maybe another thing to suddenly play at home to a team you're expected to and really close it out. They didn't do it against Drogheda. They've got games this weekend where they might be looking to do that.
Exactly. These 2 games, they were looking for 2 really important results. Waterford this Friday, then they host Sligo Rovers on Monday. Sligo host Shamrock Rovers this Friday, and Shamrock Rovers have actually found the showgrounds a little bit difficult on their last couple of visits. So John Russell in the last couple of weeks coming out strongly, feeling his players should have a really much better start to season than they have had so far. So I suppose, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, I suppose Sligo Rovers, they beat Drogheda last week, so that gives them the points on the board, maybe something to build on. Like, again, I know Hakiki's been shrugged in a bit, and the loss of Elding is well documented, but they still have some good players who can be match winners in their team. And as you mentioned, they have a good record here. like, yeah, I suppose Shamrock Rovers this weekend, like they're playing Sligo Rovers away on Friday and they're playing Drogheda on Monday. And it really is a guessing game now to try and figure out which Shamrock Rovers you're going to play. I'm sure and like that's going to have a key, like, and it's not been disrespectful for the Sligo Rovers, but really it's how Shamrock Rovers approach these games that will influence the Sligo Rovers game plan and a lot of what they're going to look at. And they might be looking at Monday in Talca Park, and they see Burke and Byrne on the bench. It's amazing quadruple sub that they're able to do to bring on Burke and Byrne and Adam Brennan and Michael Noonan. And you're thinking, okay, like Jack Byrne played really well last Friday. I recall him at times running a couple of games up in the showgrounds. Do you expect then it's Byrne and Burke to come in again, or are they in mind for Drogheda on Monday? Like there's so many options. Like Stephen Bradley, Adam Brennan's so exciting, but he gives the impression that he thinks he might only be able to do one of Friday and Monday at the moment until they build them up. So it's a real guessing game. Like Sligo Rovers have to concentrate on themselves, I suppose, to a point. But which Shamrock Rovers are you going to get? So. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I don't know, we've got a sort of rainy Thursday, like, you know, the pitch can be tricky earlier in the season as well too, so there's all these variables. But I will say, like, about Shamrock Rovers, certainly, they were very comfortable against Derry. They responded to being 2 down and the controversial second goal very well against Shells on Monday, and looked very composed, really, in general play after that. And I just feel like they are warming up nicely, and they're going to 2 venues where they've had a bit of trouble in recent years. So I think like it's a good focus for them. Like they're heading into a sequence now where they can get some points on the board. So yeah, I think there'll be a good atmosphere in Everton and Sligo, and they've had some sort of barnstorming games there, and where players have had great individual moments, have had a couple of late goals. They're looking to just create something, because on form, you'd be very much leaning towards an away win.
Well, plenty of talking points ahead of this Friday night, and a big round of games next Monday too. We'll be across all the latest reaction from around the grounds here on the Irish Independent. Thanks for watching.